Parents who tried their best to raise their kids to be good humans but they turned out to be jerks, what do you wish you did differently? One of the saddest things I've ever read is about Elliot Rodger's parents. I'm sure they made mistakes, but they saw it coming. Elliot's father recalls with a twinge of regret the what could have been moment when Elliot's alarmed mother called police on her son, but they left after Elliot convinced them that his online rantings were harmless. At that point Elliot had already purchased 3 guns and had been practicing at a firing range in preparation for his retribution. His parents sent him to therapy for years, but they couldn't force him to go once he turned 18. It seems like they tried everything they could. And their son still ended up being a mass murderer. The only thing you can really do is teach them. They will become who they will become eventually. Also, when I say teach them, I don't just mean to preach things. Lead by example. You want to teach them to be kind and generous? Then do those things yourselves. If they watch you serve others in need and get joy from that or love those around you, they may grow up wanting that joy themselves. You want them to be responsible with alcohol? Show them how to be responsible. You want them to learn from their mistakes? Then when you make a mistake, own up to it and apologize. Show them no one should be too prideful to admit they were wrong and do better the next time. If you preach kindness and such, but your actions show otherwise, it will come off as hypocritical. Kids know when you are sincere. I have raised 3 kids, none of them jerks. All good, kind, productive people. However, one of my kids was a difficult, extremely strong-willed child. I kept getting caught in power struggles with this child, which was leading nowhere and resulting in us fighting all the time. I felt critical and negative, which I hated. I decided to start catching the child being good. Every time I saw the child behaving or being helpful or successful at something, I commented on it, thanked them, praised them, etc. It was an immediate turnaround. I learned that children simply want your attention. Oftentimes it is the misbehaving child that gets that attention. Start focusing your attention on when they are good and you will see good. It was a game changer for us. This child is now a young adult that graduated from college with good grades and got a great job at a prestigious company. They are doing extremely well in life, career, friendships, romantic relationship. We have a close relationship and I couldn't be prouder of the way they turned out. Don't praise kids for being smart, even if they are. If you do this, the first time they find something academically challenging, they might think they are not smart anymore, or that you lied and they were never smart in the first place. Praise them for their willingness to try, to problem solve, and to persevere. My kid isn't a jerk, but he is an underachiever who lacks confidence. I put too much emphasis on his intelligence and not enough on hard work. Lots of great answers here. The idea of tried their best is so subjective. Every circumstance is so different. You get the full spectrum of what trying is defined as. Some parents say how hard they work and how good of a parent they were, but then you find out they were abusive thinking that it was good parenting. Or vice versa. Parents who say they failed and their kids are all good kids. Bottom line, with so many factors and external variables, it's hard to know what the true formula is. My only advice is to try and be a good human and your kids will most likely follow suit. A lot. I wish I'd insisted on eating dinner as a family every day. I wish I'd found more things to do with them that we each enjoyed. I wish I'd taken them backpacking more often at an earlier age to expose them to nature, unplug them from the world, and teach them how good it feels to tackle a big challenge with no external help. I wish I'd been more patient and playful. I deeply regret not reading to them more. I have cried as an adult thinking about this dumb, stupid mistake when I think about how neither of them read books and the ways reading might have sparked character growth. In my experience, most jerk kids come from jerk parents. That being said, kids can easily become jerks when they have no consequences for their actions. Not just as a toddler but throughout childhood. If wishes were fishes, we'd all cast a net. My dad always said that to me. I would have educated myself. I would have entered therapy to understand my childhood traumas to avoid very broad here. Basically would have prepared myself better to be the best adult mom for them. Gained mental tools. I would have stood up for myself more in order to protect them from consequences of me not standing up for us. I would have been kinder in his breakdowns. It's tough, man. Had to stop myself there. Every kid is different. I have 4. Each one has to be praised, encouraged, disciplined, and motivated differently to suit their natural personality. Parenting advice, whether from a friend or from some guru who has written many books, should be looked at as suggestions of things to try and see how your child responds to it. Similarly, what you liked or disliked about your parents growing up might not be the same as what your child likes or dislikes. Since I've gotten a few likes on this, I'm not an expert either. So also take my advice with a grain of salt. They say everyone makes the best decision at the time. The path to forgiveness. If I look back at raising my M23F21 kids, I think I would have been less harsh on mistakes, rule breaking. All it did was encourage subversion, distrust. Good luck. I doubt you're going to get good faith answers from parents on this. My parents would tell you, well, my dad died a few years ago, but he believed this when he was alive, that I turned out terribly. I'm married to a guy I love, raising kids who are reasonably well adjusted, and doing a job I like, living in a nice house with friends and hobbies I love. They don't like the way I dress, don't like the way I wear my hair, don't like my friends, don't like the denomination of synagogue I go to, don't like my career path, and are angry that I'm fat and don't dye my hair. My dad was particularly put out by the fact that my son has long hair and my daughter likes cosplay. Also, they'll say they did a perfect job at raising me and I'm just a failure,